This is Sly from Gamer Creations, or Gamer Cosplay. I am one of the cosplay makers, wig stylists, whatever you want to call us, for our company Gamer Creations. I am also a cosplayer, and I'm also blind. I'm actually technically legally blind. It's not actually full blindness. I'm totally blind in this eye right here, and partially blind in this eye right here. I would like to tell you guys today a little story about myself and how I do things when I am visually impaired / legally blind, and just to give you guys a bit of more information and understanding about myself, and just a little more insight, because I've noticed that I've been doing a lot of wig tutorials and fast styling things and stuff like that, so you don't actually see me very much, so I wanted to come on here and just kind of say hi to you guys and be a little bit more personal. So if you would like to hear my story about my blindness and how I deal with it and how I do my job while I'm dealing with it, then stay tuned. Let's see how I should start this. I have been suffering, well, I shouldn't say suffering, it's not really suffering, since I've been visually impaired my entire life. I was born with a disease called, the abbreviation is FEVR, familial you know what, I'm just gonna put it right down here. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but basically what is happening with my eye, or what was happening with both of my eyes actually when I was younger, is the blood vessels in my eye were too big and they were developing too, they were developing so much that my retina was pulling away from my eye. So to counter that, I had a lot of surgeries when I was younger. I don't know if I had a lot, but I had a few, to basically stop the blood vessels from developing any more than they were, so that they could stop the eye from detaching from my retina so I could see and not go completely blind. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work for this eye. It worked for this eye, but I still lost vision and did lose vision over time after that surgeries, which is unfortunate, but I've learned to grow with it because I've had it my entire life. So I learned to adapt to it, to the vision, and I learned how to do things my own way with how little vision I did have, and dealing with things as they come up in my adult life as well. Mainly, I had been suffering with cataracts, which usually you would see in an older person, but for me, for my actual condition, you can develop cataracts pretty much around the age I was when I got them, which was around 26, 27, around there. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm 30 right now, so luckily that is a very easy surgery, and I got my cataracts removed from my right eye, which is the eye I can see out of. And this eye here is completely fake. Not completely, I still have my original eye underneath this. This is more of like a shell. It's called a scleral shell, and it's basically meant to look like this eye, and it just kind of sits on top of my other eye that is actually smaller, because since childhood it didn't develop with the rest of my face, so it didn't grow like this one did. And actually it probably also shrank as well because of non-use and stuff like that. So it's not very pretty when I don't have this in, even though I still am very self-conscious when I do videos, which is another reason why you don't see me a lot on videos, is because I'm a bit self-conscious about the way my eyes move, because you can see this one kind of moves a little when I look like over to the right. You can see this one moves perfectly, but this one doesn't move that much. That's just because it's not able to move as well, because it's sitting on top of my actual eye, which is moving, but it's only moving the top slightly. This can be fixed if I had an actual implant of a fake eye that can get attached to the muscles here and move with this eye, and it would look the same. And I am considering that. I do have a slight bit of fear of surgery and you know, the pain that comes with that, but I don't know. I might have it done sometime eventually if, you know, insurance can cover it and whatnot. Another thing I don't feel a lot of confidence with is making eye contact with people. And if you can see my eye, this one that I can see out of, it kind of shakes a little bit when I'm looking straight ahead. Like if I'm looking right here, you can probably see it doing it right now because I'm focusing. And my eye, it has a nystagmus. I'm not sure how to pronounce that word either. I'll put it down here too. Basically what it does is the muscles aren't strong enough to hold a gaze straight for a long time, so it shakes because it's straining to stay focused that way. So I do have a hard time making eye contact with people, which sometimes gets a little bit confusing for the person I'm speaking to or looking at, because sometimes they think I'm on drugs, sometimes they think I'm weird and doing weird stuff with my eyes, but it's actually something I can't control, so that's why that happens. What else? Now I'm going to go into some things that people ask me a lot as a blind / visually impaired person. So the one thing I get asked all the time is, how far can you see? For me specifically, I mean for most people, when you ask them that, they can't really explain it because everyone's vision is their own vision, so it's hard to describe to people how far you can see and what you can see and the clarity and, you know, all that stuff. As far as numbers go, if you guys know numbers for vision, you know, 20/20 is pretty much perfect eyesight. I'm not sure how the physics of that works really, but I just know the numbers. So 20/20 is perfect. Like, you know, if you have 20/10 vision, you see better than someone with 20/20. For me, my vision right now is 2300, which is pretty bad. So I think I may be wrong on this, don't quote me. What I can see from 20 feet away, someone else that has 20/20 vision can see the same thing from 300 feet away. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I might cut this out, but who knows. Another question I ask a lot. I have a cane. It's not actually a cane that I use to walk around with to help me get around obstacles. It's for me to let others know that I am visually impaired for when I'm getting on the bus and things like that. And it's a lot skinnier than a normal blind cane. And a lot of people ask why I need it if I can see. And it's more of an identifier. And I know, and honestly, I know a lot of people who do have a visual impairment, who aren't completely blind, who still use the fully functional cane to get around and to get around obstacles. Like for me, it would probably help me if I had one for nighttime, because ever since my cataracts, my night vision has been kind of shot, so I can't really see at night right now. I'm hoping that improves, but it's been about 2 years since I had the surgery, and it's improved a little bit, but not enough where I don't need to, where I don't feel comfortable walking around at night by without hanging on to somebody. So for that, you know, that's always a thing. And then, you know, just so that people know when you get on a bus that if you can't see very well, you might not know where to sit, or you might not know if there's a seat available around you, even if you can see sort of well. But for the most part, during the daytime, I can see enough to walk around on my own without a cane or anything like that. I don't need a guide dog. I probably wouldn't even qualify for a guide dog because I can see well enough based on their qualifications. But like, for example, I can't see well enough to read a book, like a normal print book. I think a font that I can read comfortably would be between 24 to 36 point font. 36 point font is my ideal comfort level of what I can read in person. And you know, on my computer and stuff, I need to use a magnifying program and stuff like that to help me see what I'm reading and stuff like that, because I can't read anything on my screen if it's normal, you know, normal size, especially with my, because I use a laptop and those screens are tiny. I have the biggest screen I can have in a laptop is 17-inch, so even then it's really hard to see things and read things like that. So there's that a little bit about me. And then I'm going to get into my cosplay and things like that. So I struggled a lot with cosplay and my vision. A lot of the time it was accuracy of the character. I can't wear contacts, so obviously because this eye is fake and I can't put a contact over this fake one, and if I didn't wear this, my eye would be like small and it wouldn't look even with this one. So I can't wear contacts, which really bums me out, but you know, I mean, I honestly don't feel like I need to. It would just be a cool thing to be able to do, but I can't, so I have to just kind of get over that. My vision really affects my confidence out in public. I believe my social anxiety stems from my vision and the inability to look normal when I'm looking at somebody. I'm always self-conscious about that. Like, I'm always self-conscious about people thinking that I'm like strange, or I'm like, I don't know, like mentally disabled or something, because my eyes don't focus on them when I'm looking at them. And I don't want to come off as that. Like, obviously I want to come off as friendly and open and things like that, but you know, when you have something that you're self-conscious about physically, it's really hard to open up, you know. I mean, and that's like the easiest way to make friends, is if you do open up, to show them that you can be a friend and you know, you're not what people perceive you by, you know, talking to them. But unfortunately with me, my social anxiety prevents me from doing that, because I'm always thinking people are judging me based on what I look like and my eyes and what they're doing and things like that, which I know is super irrational, but that is how anxiety works. So there's that. Another thing with cosplay and my vision is the ability to get to cons and the ability to work to afford commissions. That's the next sentence. That's the next section. The ability to afford to go to cons because of not being able to work. A lot of people who do go to cons a lot have really good jobs. Well, not even really good jobs, like they can just have a retail job, and even if they don't get paid a ton of money, they can still afford to go. They can drive, you know, they can drive to where their hotel is, they can drive to get food and drive, you know, anywhere to do their con thing. But for like me and my fiance, we are both visually impaired, so it's really difficult for us to get work, because a lot of retail entry-level blah 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 jobs, they don't like hiring people like us, even though they don't use the excuse, oh, we think you'll be a hazard, we think you won't be able to do your work efficiently, blah blah blah. They still don't want to hire us and make up an excuse that doesn't get them in trouble, but it's obvious why. So unfortunately, I have to do other things like cosplay commissions, which I can do from my home and on my own time and with my own accommodations. But that leaves me to not be able to afford cons, because I have to pay other things like rent and food and stuff like that. So you know, that's also a limitation. However, I'm working my way around it, and you know, I would love to go to college, but that's expensive, and you know, these days a college degree doesn't necessarily mean you get a job, you know what I mean? So that's another thing. Now on to commissions, what I do for a living pretty much. So I do costume and wig commissions. I've been doing more wigs lately just because I can do them faster and they're not as stressful basically. But costumes, I love love making costumes. I've been making them since, I don't know, 2009 probably. I mean, I've been putting together costumes since 2009, kind of crudely. I started seriously making them in 2012, I would say, when I moved out of my house and moved into an apartment with my fiance. So there's that. And then I started doing it for a living because I needed extra income to make ends meet, and I felt I could do it, and I have been doing it for 4 years now, and I'm pretty successful at it, and I've learned a lot, and a lot of the things that I do is different than what maybe a sighted person would do to do these commissions, but I have to do them the way I do them because of my limitations. So I'm actually probably going to do a separate video on my commissions and how I do that, because I just kind of wanted to do like an introduction on my vision. And when you see me do videos in person, you may see me look like my eyes are wonky or I'm like looking in weird directions, and I just wanted to explain that that's why. I don't know if I actually want to do this, but I would be willing to show you guys what my eye looks like without my prosthetic in, if you would want to see that, and if you would want to see, what my prosthetic looks like outside of my eye. I wouldn't mind doing that if you guys, obviously would be nice about it and not be mean, like I know some people on YouTube can be, but I am willing to be open with you guys because I really want this channel to be more interactive and, have you guys have your input and all that stuff on what we do here. And I really want to start doing more like commission or cosplay related things like I used to on this channel. So I really thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you can understand a little more about me, and I might convince my fiance, which is my partner in this business and channel, to talk about herself as well if she wants to. So if you guys want to see that, please leave a thumbs up on this video, and if you liked it, please leave a thumbs up as well, because I really appreciate your guys' feedback, and I would really love to have any new subscribers to this channel. If you like what you see, I can do a whole series on this vision thing and cosplay and visual impairments and stuff like that. So if you guys would like to see more, please give a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it, you guys. And feel free to leave any comments you want, any questions you have. I can do a Q&A on my vision if you guys have any other questions or anything like that. Please feel free to ask, and I am very open with this kind of stuff, so don't be offended or don't feel like you'll be offending me if you ask me a question about my vision. I'm really open about it. So I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to visit our Patreon account. It's mainly for wig stuff, but we really want to start giving away some free wigs, and we need some Patreon members to do so. So if you are interested in winning some cool stuff, then head on over to our Patreon and check that out, and please give at least $1 if you can. We would really appreciate it, and you can win some great stuff. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.